In this video, we're going to have a look at the concepts of intersection and union. Let's start off with intersection. That is the part of the Venn diagram where A and B happen. There's also a symbol that we can use for intersection. In our examples case, these will be the learners that take life sciences and accounting. And as I've mentioned, the and means that we are focusing on those learners that take life sciences and accounting, and in this case, that will be 15 learners. So if you are asked to determine the probability to randomly choose a learner that takes life science and accounting, your answer would be 15 out of the 150 learners. If we were to tick off event A and then also tick off event B, it will only be the part that we ticked off in both events that will be part of our answer for intersection. The next concept we're going to have a look at is union, and this is A or B. Union also has a unique symbol. In our example, this will be life science or accounting, and this means the learner can take either only life science or only accounting, or even those taking both subjects, as these learners are part of the group taking life science and they are part of the group taking accounting. So the word or implies at least one of the two. So if you are asked to determine the probability to randomly choose a learner that takes life science or accounting, it would be the 60 learners taking only life science, the 50 taking only accounting, and the 15 taking both. So the only part not forming part of this answer will be the 25 not taking either of the two subjects. So this will be 125 out of the 150 learners. Let's go and tick off the two events again. Starting off with life sciences, we have 2 parts in life sciences. For accounting, also 2 parts. So when the question is A or B, anything that you've marked will form part of your answer. But when the question was and, it is only the part that you ticked off for both events that is part of your answer. The Venn diagram represents a grade 10 group's participation in soccer and cricket. Determine each of the following probabilities. Before starting with number 1, I'm going to have a look at my Venn diagram. Here I can see that 130 learners play soccer and only soccer, and 200 play only cricket. 60 learners play soccer and cricket, and 30 learners do not play either of the two sports. Adding up all these values, we know that there are 420 learners in the sample space. Question 1 is then the probability to choose a learner that plays soccer and cricket. When getting your probabilities from a Venn diagram, it helps if you first mark the 2 different events. Here we firstly had soccer, and that is the 130 and 60. Our next event is cricket, which is also the 60 and then 200. Next we look at what the question is, intersection or union. Here we have and, which is intersection, and that means it has to be marked or ticked off in both events. In this case, that will be the 60 in the middle. So our probability is 60 out of the 420. Our second question is the probability of someone playing soccer or cricket. So we have the same 2 events, soccer and cricket, but because we are working with or, the union, this time all 3 values marked for these 2 events will form part of the answer, which means we have 390 out of the 420. Question 3. Determine the probability that a learner chosen plays soccer and not cricket. Not can also be indicated with a dash. So here they could have also asked for soccer and not cricket by adding the dash. So again, we have to work with 2 different events. Our first event is soccer again, so that's the 130 460. The second event is not cricket. The not in front of cricket means that we need to have a look at what is in cricket and exclude that from our answer. So not cricket is the 130 and 30. Now that we've marked the two events, we go back to the question, which is soccer and not cricket. And that and means we can only use the part that was marked in both events. And that is the 130. So this probability is 130 out of the 420. This group of 130 learners play soccer and not cricket. Therefore, they play only soccer. Question 4 is the probability of soccer or not cricket. We've already marked these two events in our Venn diagram, and here the question is or. That means we will take into account all the values that were marked, even if it was only once. This means we'll add up the 130 plus 60 plus 30, and this will give us a total of 220 out of the 420. Question 5 is the probability of not soccer or cricket. So in this case, the not is for both of them. So I'll start off with determining soccer or cricket, and then the not, of course, means everything except for this. Question 2, we already identified that all three of these values will be part of soccer or cricket. And now that we are calculating the probability of not soccer or cricket, all three of these values will be excluded. And that means that there are 30 learners out of the 420 that are not part of soccer or cricket.